Good morning and a very, very warm welcome. How are you all today? And it's going to be yet another wonderful day where we will learn so much more in our life transformation series. Very excited to know what's coming our way because I have no clue what's coming in the chapters. And just like you, I'm a seeker looking forward for more learnings. So let's speak set program and let's get into the grind. So, everyone, let's get that. Yes, I'm a winner. I'm a winner in this game of life. Left leg in the front, right in the back. Yes, we all are winners. Fantastic. Yes, Rina, please read. Thank you so much for volunteering. Can you please raise your hand? Thank you so much. Ritesh sir, let's have the first book for the day, the Lucotino's Weight Loss Pill. Yesterday, we talked about the power for visualization in our weight loss, of achieving our goals. And today, we're going to talk about how to clean our liver simply. And that's a cue for many of you. Wait a minute, sorry. Today, we talk about brown sugar or white sugar, which is most healthy. So, Rina, please start reading.
Yeah, for a long time, people have been paying more money for the brown sugar than the white sugar in the belief that brown sugar is healthier. But this is sadly not true. Before I get into the process of exactly how brown sugar is produced, let me state that all sugar is bad for you when overconsumed, whether brown, white, raw, or golden. Sugar is made from sugarcane, which is pressed to extract the sweet juice. The crystals that form in this liquid are raw sugar. This raw sugar is then processed and vacuum dried to attain its light golden color. This is then sent to the refinery for further processing. After filtration of the liquid, to remove the plant trash and dirt, the remainder is boiled, leaving behind a brown sludge called molasses. Molasses contain a very small amount of potassium, calcium, magnesium, B vitamins, and trace minerals such as copper, manganese, iron, and chromium. However, this is not sufficient to give you your daily requirement of trace minerals. When raw sugar is further processed, it's washed and separated. Pure white sugar is 99.9% sucrose. White sugar mixed with molasses is brown sugar. Calorie wise, a teaspoon of brown sugar would be about 17 calories, and a teaspoon of white sugar would be about 16 calories. Nutritionally, brown sugar may win by just a fraction. I know many people who think that they can have more sugar if it is brown instead of white. What is better for you is pure honey, unadulterated jaggery, or pure maple syrup. Pure jaggery holds onto its nutritional content. It loses all its fiber, iron, manganese, B vitamins, phosphorus, and potassium when it is processed. However, jaggery is still a form of sugar and should be used in moderation.
All of you who are always thinking that which sugar is better, is it brown, is it white? We've heard brown is better than white. So if you've seen how it's processed, it's hardly any different. It's all about the color. Now, how do you alternate it? How do you correct the right thing? So yes,
The powerful lifestyle change that
pure
I've
jaggery, get pure. Uh, is the connection okay, or you couldn't hear me?
I couldn't hear you, Prachi.
So I'm so sorry. Okay, so here,
Okay.
let me just complete it. So jaggery is still a form of sugar. We can have it, no problem, but everything should be in moderation. So if you're having white sugar, please change immediately to some alternate, whatever works for you. And please refrain from using artificial sweeteners because they are not very good for our body. They are some things which are just adding a lot of chemicals and they're not good for us. So let's not have artificial sweeteners. We want to have, start using jaggery sugar. Let's continue further.
Yeah. The powerful lifestyle change that I've seen people make with regard to sugar is consuming it in moderation whenever they feel like doing so, regardless of whether they have switched to raw honey, jaggery, stevia, or coconut sugar. You should consume sugar without guilt. Either enjoy it or don't have it. Enough has been written about the ill effects of sugar, so I'm not going to repeat it. But do know, in most cases, that sugar is more dangerous than oil. Sugar not just inhibits immunity, it is also what cancer cells thrive on. When it
So
comes
if
to weight
people,
loss, Alvin,
so if people don't know about sugar's ill effects, people who go on cancer are supposed to completely go off sugar. They cannot have sugar come what may. So 8 months of my life, I was not allowed to have sugar even little bit. In fact, so much so that they continued me to have this for the next 6 months also, because sugar is really bad. Sugar helps the cancer cells multiply much faster. So please remember, if you can start having your coffees and your tea without sugar, that's the first step. Try taking it up. Try having a, I don't know if you realize, but in like the Arabic culture and everywhere, they only use honey, even in milk when they want to drink milk. They add honey and drink it because honey is still pure. It's not concentrated, it's not treated. So remember, sugar is really, really, really bad. Your immunity will not get better with it. In fact, it'll inhibit your immunity. So now let's talk about sugar's role in weight loss. Let's read it.
when it comes to weight loss, you must know that sugar inhibits HGH, the hormone that helps you build lean mass and lose fat. It impairs insulin function, which leads to fat storage in the body and elevates cortisol levels, the hormone that switches on your fat storage function. A lot of my patients ask about sulfurless sugar. Sulfur dioxide is used to process sugar. It's basically what gives molasses a lighter color and a longer shelf life. So, yes, sulfurless sugar is far healthier. On the other hand, artificial sweeteners have aspartame, which has been linked to Alzheimer's disease, Parkinson's disease, many kinds of cancers. and other health issues, especially for women, such as hormonal imbalance, fibroids, and cysts. So, if I were given a choice between artificial sweetener and white sugar, I would pick the latter because the human body is not designed to break down aspartame. Remember that you don't have control over the amount of sugar in processed food. So make sure that your overall consumption is balanced because sugar is always an empty calorie.
And this sugar is available in our breads also that we eat. So it's not like you're having breads and there is no sugar. So even bread is processed food. It's not something which is just growing straight away. So if you can try and go organic, there's a reason why back in the old days people had chapatis and stuffed rotis and rotis for breakfast because they were still pure form. They were not processed form. So if you're having bread, it's fine. But bread also needs artificial sugar. Like I bake bread at home very, very often. And it's got so much of yeast, it's got so much of sugar, it's got so much of oil. Bread is not, it may taste yum, but it's got a lot of artificial stuff. So remember, the more processed food you finish in your life, the better your life will become. And when it comes to processed food, everything in processed food is kind of it's not from natural to natural. Let's start now subconscious. Thank you so much. Looking
Prachi, your
forward
voice
to
is not clear.
having some grandparents. What to do? Okay, see others. Yeah, I had issue here. I have since 3 days been a net issue. Hmm. Tomorrow I can. Ritesh sir, I hope it will get sorted. The voice issue. I'm with my grandparents. It's been an issue here in New Friends Colony for some time. I hope you can hear me now.
Yes, yes, very much.
I hope it's going to be sorted. So, all right, Ritesh, so let's into the next book, please. Tomorrow I'm going to be back home, so should not be a problem. Today we're going to read a new chapter in the power of the subconscious mind, and this chapter is really beautiful because you realize that everything that we are living in this world of is created with the power of the subconscious mind. So much so, even as scientists have been using it for not now, since ever. So, creative visualization is amazing. The power of the subconscious mind is amazing. And if we start using it in everyday life, magical moments are going to happen every single day. So, Rina, let's start this chapter. Please go
Yeah.
ahead.
Scientists use the subconscious mind. Many scientists realize the true importance of the subconscious mind. Edison, Marconi, Kettering, Poincare, Einstein, and many others have used the subconscious mind. It has given them the insight and the know how for all their great achievements in modern science and industry. Research has also shown that the ability to bring into action the subconscious power has determined the success of all the great scientific and research workers. An instance of how a famous chemist, Friedrich von what is this? Straton,
Friedrich von Stradons.
Stratons used his subconscious mind to solve his problem is as follows. He had been working laboriously for a long time trying to rearrange the six carbon and the six hydrogen atoms of the benzene formula, and he was constantly perplexed and unable to solve the matter. Tired and exhausted, he turned the request over completely to his subconscious mind. Shortly afterward, as he was about to board a London bus, the subconscious presented his conscious mind with a sudden flash of a snake biting its own tail and turning around like a pinwheel. The answer from his subconscious mind gave him the long sought answer of the circular rearrangement of the atoms that is known as the benzene ring.
So, he wanted an answer to his question. He was just looking, and he was talking about it. And then what happens? Nature strikes. Nature shows him how beautifully his answers can come in. And why does this nature show him? Because he has questioned his subconscious mind. Because he's been thinking about it and he's been giving that thought, that seed again and again and again. And his perplexion, he's being perplexed is almost finished. Because nature replies back. So subconscious mind presents you, the conscious mind, with the answer that you want. This can come as cues, flashes, whatever. Let's turn the page. Yes, please read this story as well.
How a distinguished scientist brought forth his inventions. Nikola Tesla was a brilliant electrical scientist who brought forth the most amazing innovation. When an idea for a new invention came into his mind, he would build it up in his imagination, knowing that his subconscious mind would reconstruct and reveal it to his conscious mind all the parts needed for its manufacture in concrete form. Through quiet contemplating every possible improvement, he spent no time in correcting defects and was able to give the technicians the perfect product of his mind. He said, invariably, my device works as I imagined it should. In 20 years, there has not been a single exception.
And now we know he's the richest man in the world. So
Yes.
it's very beautiful how, how subconscious mind helps us invent ourselves, reinvent ourselves, look at our own shortcomings and just trains us and corrects them. This is all when we're using the power of subconscious mind. As I keep repeating myself, if there are two people and the first one thinks the other one is wiser and asks the other person for solutions, what solution does the other person give? In his framework of whatever he thinks life is all about, he would be answering questions. But your subconscious mind is much more matured, is much more wiser, and knows exactly what you and your journey at that point need. So please, this is the best thing you can ask your subconscious mind. Your subconscious mind is equal to universe. Never forget this. And never forget that whatever you impress upon it comes to fruition, comes to an expression. So please ask carefully. Please be very careful about your intention. Don't just say stuff regularly or just essay. Don't throw it because it's very powerful. So give it exactly what you want to see in your life. Let's read another story to understand this more.
How a famous naturalist solved his problem. Professor Agassiz, a distinguished American naturalist, discovered the indefatigable activities of his subconscious mind while he slept. The following has been reported by his widow in her biography of her famous husband. He had been 2 weeks striving to decipher the somewhat obscure impression of a fossil fish on the stone slab in which it was preserved. Weary and perplexed, he put his work aside at last and tried to dismiss it from his mind. Shortly after, he waked one night, persuaded that while asleep, he had seen his fish with all the missing features perfectly restored. But when he tried to hold and make fast the change, it escaped him. Nevertheless, he went early to the Jardin des Plantes, thinking that on looking anew at the impression, he should see something which would put him on the track of his vision. In vain, the blurred record was as black as ever. The next night, he saw the fish again, but with no more satisfactory result. When he awoke, it disappeared from his memory as before. Hoping that the same experience might be repeated on the third night, he placed a pencil and a paper beside his bed before going to sleep. Accordingly, towards morning, the fish reappeared in his dream, confusedly at first, but at last, with such distinctness that he had no longer any doubt as to its zoological characters. Still half dreaming in perfect darkness, he traced these characters on the sheet of paper at the bedside. In the morning, he was surprised to see in his nocturnal sketch features which he thought it impossible the fossil itself should reveal. He hastened to the Jardin des Plantes and, with his drawing as a guide, succeeded in chiseling away the surface of the stone under which portions of the fish proved to be hidden. When wholly exposed, it corresponded with his dream and his drawing, and he succeeded in classifying it with ease.
So why did this happen? I don't know how many of you know the way we did a session on past life regression, where you're taking yourself back in the past. Similarly, there's something called future regression. You can see what your future is all about. So if you today we're doing this class right now, it might sound very hypothetical to you all, but actually this class has happened before. We're reliving it. So if people are into science and they know about time, space, machines and everything, we are just reliving something which we thought of before, and now this is getting projected. So this has already happened, but right now it's getting projected. Similarly, that's what happened with this guy. He had seen the fish before. He had made it before, but he went back in his dream and helped him to see exactly how the fossils of the fish were, and he could create them. So something is happening which is beautiful, and that's your life. And you are taking your life so lightly by thinking, okay, it's just another day. It's not just another day. It's one opportunity of 24 hours where you can create your life the way you want. So please don't take your life so easily, though I will say enjoy your life every minute. Enjoyment is most important. Don't become too serious about your life. You have to enjoy your life. Firstly, everything that you do should have a feeling that, I get joy out of it. Secondly, just don't waste your time if you want to really create something, because you can be the creator of your life, whatever you want. So if you're not diligent and about your exercising, if you're not diligent about your manifestation or about your dreaming, you will not be able to crack it as soon as you expect it to. You will crack it, but it'll take its own sweet time. So remember that it's all in your hands. Let's read another story about an outstanding physician who solved the problem of diabetes.
Some years ago, I received a clipping from a magazine describing the origin of the discovery of insulin. This is the essence of the article as I recall it. About 40 years ago or more, Dr. Frederick Banting, a brilliant Canadian physician and surgeon, was concentrating his attention on the ravages of diabetes. At that time, medical science offered no effective method of arresting the disease. Dr. Banting spent considerable time experimenting and studying the international literature on the subject. One night, he was exhausted and fell asleep. While asleep, his subconscious mind instructed him to extract the residue from the degenerated pancreatic duct of dogs. This was the origin of insulin, which had helped millions of people. You will note that Dr. Banting had been consciously dwelling on the problem for some time, seeking a solution, a way out, and his subconscious responded accordingly. It does not follow that you will always get an answer overnight. The answer may not come for some time. Do not be discouraged. Keep on turning the problem over every night to the subconscious mind prior to sleep, as if you had never done it before. One of the reasons for the I-
Yeah, please continue.
One of the reasons for the delay may be that you look upon it as a major problem. You may believe it. You may believe it will take a long time to solve it. Your subconscious mind is timeless and spaceless. Go to sleep believing you have the answer now. Do not postulate the answer in the future. Have an abiding faith in the outcome. Become convinced now as you read this book that there is an answer and a perfect solution for you.
So one thing is, when we go in night and we have any problems, please ask your problems from your subconscious mind that time before sleeping, knowing that you have the answer. You haven't got the answer on day one, you haven't got any cues. Maybe you've got them, but you haven't seen them. Again, ask. You haven't got on day two, again, ask. But every time you ask, know it in your heart and your mind, the answer is coming to me now. So, whether it's about a business deal, whether it's about a new project, or whether it's about a child's admission, or whether it's about anything that you want, which needs your attention, which needs an answer, please ask your subconscious mind, channel yourself and ask. Ask believing that you will get that answer. Ask believing you will have a solution. I'm not saying go for creative visualization right now because you're just asking for an answer. So, right now, you'll follow the first two steps: ask and believe. Receiving will happen. So please remember, this is our faith. Let's read another story about a famous scientist.
How a famous scientist and physicist escaped from a Russian concentration camp. Dr. Lothar von Blank-Schmidt, a member of the Rocket Society and an outstanding research electronic engineer, gives the following condensed summary of how he used his subconscious mind to free himself from certain death at the hands of brutal guards in a Russian prison camp coal mine. He states as follows: I was a prisoner of war in a coal mine in Russia, and I saw men dying all around me in that prison compound. We were watched over by brutal guards, arrogant officers, and sharp, fast thinking commissioners. After a short medical checkup, a quota of coal was assigned to each person. My quota was 300 pounds per day. In case any man did not fill his quota, his small food ration was cut down, and in a short time he was resting in the cemetery. I started concentrating on my escape. I knew that my subconscious mind would somehow find a way. My home in Germany was destroyed, my family wiped out, all my friends and former associates were either killed in the war or were in the concentration camps. I said to my subconscious mind, I want to go to Los Angeles and you will find the way. I had seen pictures of Los Angeles and I remembered some of the boulevards were very were well as some of the buildings. Every day and night I would imagine I was walking down Wilshire Boulevard with an American girl whom I met in Berlin prior to the war. She is now my wife. In my imagination, we would visit the stores, ride buses, and eat in the restaurants. Every night, I made it a special point to drive my imaginary American automobile up and down the boulevards of Los Angeles. I made all this vivid and real. These pictures in my mind were as real and as natural to me as one of the trees outside the prison camp. Every morning, the chief guard would count the prisoners, and they were lined up. He would call out one, two, three, etc. And when 17 was called out, which was my number in sequence, I stepped aside. In the meantime, the guard was called away for a minute or so, and on his return, he started by mistake on the next man as number 17. When the crew returned in the evening, the number of men was the same, and I was not missed, and the discovery would take a long time. I walked out of the camp undetected and kept walking for 24 hours, resting in a deserted town the next day. I was able to live by fishing and killing some wildlife. I found coal trains going to Poland and traveled on them by night until finally I reached Poland. With the help of friends, I made my way to Lucerne, Switzerland. One evening at the Palace Hotel Lucerne, I had a talk with a man and his wife from the United States of America. This man asked me if I would care to be a guest at his home in Santa Monica, California. I accepted, and when I arrived in Los Angeles, I found that their chauffeur drove me along Wilshire Boulevard and many other boulevards, which I had imagined so vividly in the long months in the Russian coal mines. I recognized the buildings which I had seen in my mind so often. It actually seemed as if I had been in Los Angeles before I had reached my goal. I will never cease to marvel at the wonders of the subconscious mind. Truly, it has ways we know of not of.
Truly, our subconscious mind is magical. We will never cease to marvel at the wonders of our subconscious mind because it is absolutely amazing. Truly, it has ways we know not of. That's how powerful our subconscious mind is. And that's how our subconscious mind keeps coming up with things, whatever we want. So now, did you see in this particular story? This man is reliving again and again and again. So that's what is manifestation. We can't just, okay, sometimes you just drop a seed and it manifests. Yeah, even that happens. But in order for it to become really coming to fruition, you have to creatively visualize again and again and again. So remember, your dedication and determination is very, very, very important. If you really, really want something, you've got to work on it. Be persistent, be insistent, and you will get it to come true. Thank you so much, Ritesh sir, for showcasing this book. Let's move on to the new chapter in Ikigai. Yesterday we missed this book, but today we'll read a brand new chapter. It's a very beautiful chapter. Let's read it. And again, like I mentioned to each one of us, that life is fun, life is beautiful, and life is magical. But having said that, it's very, very imperative for all of us to go with the flow. Yesterday evening, we were reading the Deepak Chopra's book, about the seven spiritual laws of parenting. And we came to day number seven, day number Thursday. And even Thursday was about the law of least effort and going with the flow. And again, today, when I read this book, it says, find flow in everything you do. So the idea is that, we just flow with life. We allow life, the universal laws in life, to guide us, to take us from one point to another. And this is very, very beautiful because it's something connected to what we even talked about subconscious mind, how to turn work and free time into spaces for growth. So we talked about our subconscious mind being timeless and spaceless. In a way, this is correlating. And this is our chapter number, section number 4. And let's turn the page to understand the science behind this beautiful discovery that we will do today, where we grow as people. So Aristotle said a very beautiful thing. We are what we repeatedly do. Remember again, read again. We are what we repeatedly do. Excellence then is not an act, but a habit. So if I keep continuing to do something again and again and again, obviously I will get excellent because it becomes easier. So for example, I have said this example a couple of times. If we are doing something for the first time, it takes us more time. Second time, a little lesser. Third time, a little lesser. Fourth time, fifth time, it's going to be like straight. You know exactly the sequential order. Similarly is manifestation. If you are reliving something again and again and again, initially it'll take you time. Okay, what do I do next? So write down the story of your life. What is your manifestation? What is step-by-step sequence? The same happens with producing director in a movie as well. One is given the finance of producing it. The other one is directing it. He writes a scene, he rewrites it. Sometimes he shoots the scene, he reshoots it. That's what will go in your mind. So remember, you have to do this diligently and you have to be at it. Don't lose flow. Now let's go with the flow and let's read this. Thank you, Reena, for going ahead.
Going with the flow. Imagine you are skiing down one of your favorite slopes. Powdery snow flies up on both sides of you like white sand. Conditions are perfect. You are entirely focused on skiing as well as you can. You know exactly how to move at each moment. There is no future, no past. There is only the present. You feel the snow, your skis, your body, and your consciousness united as a single entity. You are completely immersed in the experience, not thinking about or distracted by anything else. Your ego dissolves and you become part of what you are doing. This is the kind of experience Bruce Lee described with his famous "Be water, my friend." We have all felt our sense of time vanish when we lose ourselves in an activity to enjoy. We start cooking, and before we know it, several hours have passed. We spend an afternoon with a book and forget about the world going by until we notice the sunset and realize we haven't eaten dinner. We go surfing and don't realize how many hours we have spent in the water until the next day when our muscles ache.
And that's so true, right? Something we love doing, we just don't know how time flows because you're loving it so much. Kab subah se sham ho gayi, sham se raat ho gayi, we have no clue what's happening. And that's how beautiful life is. So let's change the page, sir. So, life is beautiful when you flow with it. Let's read.
The opposite can also happen when we have to complete a task we don't want to do. Every minute feels like a lifetime, and we can't stop looking at our watch. As the quip attributed to Einstein goes, put your hand on a hot stove for a minute, and it seems like an hour. Sit with a pretty girl for an hour, and it seems like a minute. That is relativity. The funny thing is that someone else might really enjoy the same task, but we want to finish it as quickly as possible. What makes us enjoy doing something so much that we forget about whatever worries we might have while we do it? When are we happiest? These questions can help us discover our ikigai.
So very cute when I saw this sit with a pretty girl for an hour, it seems like a minute. All the men were grinning away to glory. Even women had smiles. So yes, when we like something, life just automatically flows, and that's how life is. So even if you have to go for a holiday, or say let's say a drive, on the way to the place where you have to do the picnic, or you have to holiday, or do whatever, you're so excited, you're animatedly talking about it. Time just flows by. On the way back, when you've had all the fun, रास्ता बहुत लंबा लग रहा है ना? The time doesn't seem to cut because now there's no excitement. So when are you most excited? When something new is coming your way, when you have joy, when you have happiness. This is what happens in life. The minute we all find our ikigai, our life's purpose, believe you me, life will become a cakewalk. Life will become so beautiful. We'll be able to walk, we'll be able to trot, we'll be able to jump and live life joyously. And that's what will happen with all of us. For this, we have to understand the power of flow. Let's read it, please.
These questions are also at the heart of psychologist Mihaly Prachi. Prachi, what's this word? Mihaly Csikszentmihalyi's research into the experience. Prachi, your voice is not coming.
Please continue.
Okay. It's research into the experience of being completely immersed, all messages are popping up, immersed in what we are doing. Mihaly called this state flow and described it as the pleasure, delight, creativity, and process when we are completely immersed in life. There is no magic recipe for finding happiness, for living according to your ikigai. But one key ingredient is the ability to reach this state of flow and through this state to have an optimal experience. In order to achieve this optimal experience, we have to focus on increasing the time we spend on activities that bring us to this state of flow, rather than allowing ourselves to get caught up in activities that offer immediate pleasure, like eating too much abusing drugs or alcohol, or stuffing ourselves with chocolates in front of the TV. As Csikszentmihalyi asserts in his book Flow, the psychology of optimal experience flow is the state in which people are so involved in an activity that nothing else seems to matter. The experience itself is so enjoyable that people will do it even at great cost for the sheer sake of doing it. It is not only creative professionals who require the high doses of concentration that promote flow. Most athletes, chess players, and engineers also spend much of their time on activities that bring them to this state. According to Csikszentmihalyi's research, a chess player feels the same way upon entering a state of flow as a mathematician working on a formula or a surgeon performing an operation. A professor of psychology, Mihaly analyzed data from people around the world and discovered that flow is the same among individuals of all ages and cultures. In New York and Okinawa, we all reach a state of flow in the same way. But what happens to our mind when we are in that state? When we flow, we are focused on a concrete task without any direct distractions. Our mind is in order. The opposite occurs when we try to do something while our mind is on other things. If you often find yourself losing focus while working on something you consider important, there are several strategies you can employ to increase your chances of achieving flow.
So achieving flow is very, very important. So even when you're binge watching your programs on television or you're binge eating, you are in flow because you are enjoying binging. Now that's flow for you. But how do you snap out of it? Or when you're doing something and you're unable to understand that now I'm getting bored, now how do I go on about it? Firstly, you take a pause. You take a pause and now you analyze. There are 7 beautiful steps for achieving flow. Let's understand them one by one. Firstly, this is a research science. It's absolutely the thing for everyone to follow. It's not something which is going to work for Rupal, but not going to work for Anshul. It will not be like that. If all of us want it, it can be beautiful. So according to researcher Owen Schrackfer of DePaul University, the requirements for achieving flow are first, most important, paramount importance is knowing what to do. So you should know what you really want to do. For example, your intention. What is it that you want in life? So you have your intention clear. That is very, very, very important. Secondly, you should have the expertise to know how to do it. If you don't know how to do it, you will find a way to learn, right? It's not like you want to do it, but you can't do it. So if that is so important for you to do it, you will find a way on how to do it. Thirdly, knowing how well you're doing. So one thing is I'm being an average student. I'm just doing something very regularly. One thing is I want to excel. So I will train myself into expertise. Fourth, knowing where to go, where navigation is involved. So for example, if I want to do a master's in art, I need to know now where do I want to do the master's in art? Do I want to do in Chelsea, London, or do I want to Delhi College of Art, Delhi? Where do I want to do it? It's very, very, very important. Fifth, perceiving significant challenges. There will be challenges, and I should be ready for them. That yes, there will be, and I will not get swayed, I will not get disheartened. Sixth, perceiving significant skills. So there will be significant skills required for it, and I know them and I need to work on them. Seventh, if I want to continue reaching my final goal, I have to be consistent. If something comes my way, I don't have to get distracted. For example, I'm pursuing my degree for masters in arts, and somebody comes and says, "Okay, let's go for this dancing thing, and let's just not do the art thing. Let's go for this opera." But that's not my calling. I can't get dissuaded. If I want to be focused, I want to be focused. Now, to find your flow, initially you have to be at it. Once the flow has come, organically you will be in it. But ek bar to reach that lakshya, to reach that goal, you have to work on it. And for this, it's not very Latin science, not rocket science. We will study about it for further in detail. How do we go it step by step? That's the beauty about this book. It's going to train us from step by step, strategies by strategies, and we will make it so much easier for ourselves to understand where we are from. Today, I will also request you before we start this chapter, if you remember the diagram in Ikigai, this diagram was there, right? This four, it talked about vocation, it talked about what we like, what we love. If possible, start working on this. Start writing it down. What is it that you want to do? What is it that the world requires? What is it that you can get paid for? Create your vision chart. How do you do this? By simply using your any pin-up board, any almari ka top, put your post-its, whatever you like in your life, write that, what gives you joy. Then write, what is it that you think you are good at? Okay. Third, what is it that the world needs? Okay, write that down. Fourth, whatever you're doing, can you actually get money out of it? Because if you make your passion your profession, nobody can stop you. You will become unstoppable. You'll be able to earn so much. So, what you love, what you're good at, what the world needs, and what you can be paid for. These are four parts of Ikigai. They will help you find your purpose in life. So, you're addressing your passion, you're addressing your mission, you're addressing your profession, you're addressing your vocation. Everything is being addressed in this wholesome 4 point thing. Remember, we have north, south, east, west in life in directions. Similarly, we have four directions to walk into. The amalgamation of the four directions will help you come closer to your ikigai. So today we are in the middle of the book. It's the right time to start this. So please remember, you must do this homework for yourself as to what gives you an excitement, what is thrilling for you, what is your purpose. Gradually, you'll be able to narrow it down. Okay. And I have also shared this Ikigai 30-day challenge. Have you seen that? Did anybody see it? I posted in the group. If you haven't seen it, I'm going to ask Amrita to send it to you. So it's a 30-day challenge. Just go through that audio. It's about half an hour audio. See what the coach is trying to guide you. And please try and imbibe that. Empowering ourselves and transforming our lives needs a lot of our own work. Now, I can't sit down here and plan Sudha's life for her. I have no clue what she wants. I can't plan Raviji's life. He knows what's his passion, what's his purpose, what's his profession. So, Alifia, thank you for watching with your children because you're empowering your children at a young age. If they can find the Ikigai at this age or start looking into their life, life will become so much more magical. So, thank you for doing that. For the others, please see the video. Very, very important to see it. Very important to understand that we have to find our ikigai. And now is the time we start writing our 4 point program. Let's go read the strategy number 1, which is choosing a very difficult task, but not so difficult that we can't attain it. Something which is tough but tangible. Let's read it. Scaffer's model.
Schaffer's model encourages us to take on tasks that we have a chance of completing, but that are slightly outside our comfort zone. Every task, sport, or job has a set of rules, and we need a set of skills to follow them. If the rules for completing a task or achieving a purpose are too basic relative to our skill set, we will likely to get bored. Activities that are too easy lead to apathy. If, on the other hand, we assign ourselves a task that is too difficult, we won't have the skills to complete it and will almost certainly give up and feel frustrated to boot. The ideal is to find a middle path, something aligned with our abilities, but just a bit of a stretch, so we experience it as a challenge. This is what Ernest Hemingway meant when he said, "Sometimes I write better than I can." We want to see challenges through to the end because we enjoy the feeling of pushing ourselves. Bertrand Russell expressed a similar idea when he said, "To be able to concentrate for a considerable amount of time, it is essential to difficult achievement." If you're a graphic designer, Learn a new software program for your next project. If you are a programmer, use a new programming language. If you're a dancer, try to incorporate into your next routine a movement that has seemed impossible for years. Add a little something extra, something that takes you out of your comfort zone. Even doing something as simple as reading means following certain rules, having certain abilities and knowledge. If we set out to read a book on quantum mechanics for specialists in physics without being specialists in physics ourselves, we'll probably give up after a few minutes. On the other hand of the spectrum, if we already know everything a book has to tell us, we'll get bored right away. However, if the book is appropriate to our knowledge and abilities and builds on what we already know, we'll immerse ourselves in our reading and time will flow. This pleasure and satisfaction are evidence that we are in tune with our ikigai.
So let's understand. Easy will be too easy for you to do it. So I'm going to take right now the example of weight loss. So people who've got this separate from group about weight. So if your target is 2 kilos, it's too easy. You probably won't even work for it. But if you made it 5 kilos, yes, that's a little challenging. How do you flow with it? Firstly, you add a higher purpose to your goal. So for example, if I want to go on a walk, I will not go on a walk because I haven't moved my butt in ages, for example. But if I that time start listening to a session, say any audio session, let's say Louis Hayes, something which is informative, something is powerful, or maybe I have the morning session which is repeating myself and I put it on audio. Now, because I want to complete the session and I want complete freedom, I will say, okay, let me do it with my walk. So while I'm walking, I'm learning something. And I know that ultimately, till the session is going on, I want to walk. So what's happening? I'm doing that extra effort by walking and I'm listening to my session. So I'm adding, like, you hit two birds with the same arrow. So please enjoy, add something, go out of your comfort zone, tell yourself, okay, this is something I have to do, and I will do it come what may. So set yourself goals. So if you like to listen to something which is 40 minutes, okay, this 40 minutes are my time. Until the session gets over, I will not stop walking. You don't want to walk fast? Don't walk fast. Start simply, just simply start. Don't keep waiting for some kind of a magic wand to come and do that for you. And also, as a motivation, if possible, send your weight picture. This is the weight picture and this is what I'm looking at doing. And then have your sangha just force you, push you, okay, have you done it today? Share your number of steps. Start doing something which is not regular. When you do that to yourself, you will be pushing each other beyond limits, encouraging each other, and you will be in the flow. Now, sometimes you're anxious. Stop getting anxious, because anxiety will only add worry to your life. It will not add anything good feeling. Just say, I can do it and I'm doing it. I'm loving it. When you give yourself these positive affirmations and whatever you're doing, you will immerse yourself in a deeper world of timelessness where time will flow and you will enjoy. There'll be pleasure, there'll be satisfaction. And very soon, we'll all be finding Ikigai also. Strategy number 2, let's read about it.
Have a clear, concrete objective. Video games, played in moderation, board games, and sports are great ways to achieve flow because the objective tends to be very clear. Beat your rival on your own record while following a set of explicitly defined rules. Unfortunately, the objective isn't quite as clear in most situations. According to a study by Boston Consulting Group, when asked about their bosses, the number one complaint of the employees at multinational corporations is that they don't communicate the team's mission clearly, and that as a result, the employees don't know what their objectives are. What often happens, especially in big companies, is that the executives get lost in the details of obsessive planning, creating strategies to hide the fact that they don't have a clear objective. It's like heading out to the sea with a map but no destination. It is much important to have a compass pointing to a concrete objective than to have a map. Joy Ito, director of MIT Media Lab, encourages us to use the principle of compass over maps as a tool to navigate our world of uncertainty. In the book Whiplash, How to Survive Our Faster Future, he and Jeff Howrey write, in an increasingly unpredictable world, moving ever more quickly, a detailed map may lead you deep into the woods at an unnecessarily high cost. A good compass, though, will always take you where you need to go. It doesn't mean that you should start your journey without any idea where you are going. What it does mean is understanding that while the path to your goal may not be straight, you will finish faster and more efficiently than you would have if you had trudged along a pre planned route. In
So
business,
what does it mean? If we have a good compass, rather than going for a timeline, if we have good compass, which is navigating us, okay, where do we want to go, east, south, north, west, wherever? What do we start our journey with? We have no idea where we're going. For that, intention is very, very, very clear. You have to deeply understand your intention. This is my path, this is my goal, and this is where I have to go. So, whether I have to go here or round or right, at least I know when I'm clear on my purpose, when I'm clear on my direction. Obviously, I will not go round and round and left, right, and waste time. I'll move straight clearly and I'll be more efficient. This way, we have to pre-plan. Intention can't be just intention. It has to have some plan to it. So remember, planning is extremely important. Let's read about the business aspect.
in business, the creative professions, and education alike, it's important to reflect on what we hope to achieve before starting to work, study, or make something. We should ask ourselves questions such as, what is my objective for today's session in the studio? How many words am I going to write today for the article coming out next month? What is my team's mission? How fast will I set the matrimony tomorrow in order to play that sonata at an allegro tempo by the end of the week? Having a clear objective is important in achieving flow, but we also have to know how to leave it behind when we get down to business. Once the journey has begun, we should keep this objective in mind without obsessing over it. When Olympic athletes compete for a gold medal, they can't stop to think how pretty the medal is. They have to be present in the moment, they have to flow. If they lose focus for a second, thinking how proud they'll be to show the medal to their parents, they'll almost certainly commit an error at a critical moment and will not win the competition. One common example of this is in writer's block. Imagine that a writer has to finish a novel in 3 months. The objective is clear. The problem is that the writer can't stop obsessing over it. Every day she wakes up thinking, I have to write that novel. And every day she sets about reading the newspaper and cleaning the house. Every evening she feels frustrated and promises she'll go to work the next day. Days, weeks, and months pass, and the writer still hasn't gotten anything down on the page when all it would have taken was to sit down and get that first word out, then the second to flow with the project, experience expressing her ikigai.
This also helps us understand that slow and steady is a good idea rather than going fast. So even if you're not doing too much, there are no breakthroughs. At least start. At least start aligning yourself that okay, this is what I have to do, and at least start flowing. At least start one by one. Today it's just something, maybe one step, maybe 10 steps. Tomorrow 15. Day after 16. But at least don't come back to 4, 5. Start very small that you're able to manage those goals. Once you have a flow, you'd be able to imagine, enjoy it more. Then the anxiety will finish. Okay, what if I go right now? It's too hot. Okay, my hair will get spoiled. Okay, I don't want to go. Okay, it's going to become very sweaty. I'm giving example right now of your walk. So you have to take your first small steps. When you start taking your first small steps, there will be a feeling of exhilaration. Yes, I've done it. I've really, really done it. I had intended to do it and I can do it. I can achieve it. Gradually, you'll start enjoying the flow. Gradually, it will become pleasant. Gradually, you'll start looking forward to doing that activity. So, just getting in the flow is to start very simply. Start very, very small. Don't make huge plans. Don't dwell about the future too much. When you think about your future, you will become cluttered and chaotic. Don't be vague. Confusion, time, and energy wasted on meaningless tasks adds to confusion. So don't be vague. Please don't have a mental block, because when you have it, life will not become so cool. Secondly, flow is very, very, very important. I flow from one to another, to another, to another. Now, the obsessive desire to achieving a goal while ignoring process results in you being fixated. You're fixed about something and you're not able to get down to doing it because you are mentally blocked. So how do you get out of this mental block? Just tell yourself, I will do it. One step at a time. I will do it. When I take my first step and I do my second step, I will get in the flow. This is supposed to be our mindset by going forward. Tomorrow we will talk about strategy number 3 and how to do a single task. I want to read this number 3 also so that you're a little aware of what we're going to talk tomorrow about this chapter. So I will move on heart thoughts. And can I have a new idea for the heart thought? And thank you, Reena. You were amazing. I loved how you handled your scientist name and how you made it shorter. And you didn't hesitate and kept coming back to me, Hali, and it's lovely. That's what creativity is all about. We just flow. Whatever's coming our way, we take it very easily. We don't stutter. We don't stop. So thank you, thank you. God bless you.
Thank you, Prachi. Thank you so much.
Thank you for coming forward. Okay, any hands first for our thought? And today we've got a couple of sharings. If I want to share something yesterday, I don't. And of course, Raji wants to share something. So that's going to be amazing. Okay, today's chapter is about my favorite thing in life, about learning. You cannot learn other people's lessons for them. They must do the work themselves and they will do it when they are ready. So, this is something that I keep telling all of us. For everything in life, there comes a time for you to want to learn, a time for you to be ready to learn. And that time when it comes, magically stuff starts happening. And today, the heart thought for the day is I learn something every new day. When I'm ready to learn something every new day, life will flow beautifully for me. So today, Shilpa is volunteered to read this beautiful paragraph. Shilpa, please go ahead and read for us. Thank you.
I learn something new every day. Wouldn't it be wonderful if instead of having to memorize all those battle dates, children were taught how to think, how to love themselves, how to have good relationships, how to be wise parents, how to handle money, and how to be healthy? Very few of us have been taught how to handle these different areas of our lives. If we knew, we would do it differently.
Thank you, Shilpa. Amazing. You flew so beautifully. So thank you so much. All right. So now tell me, we haven't learned these things as children. Not every child has been lucky to learn. How about introducing this in our life and our family's life at least? And get this beautiful paragraph and thought to, what? I think it'll be lovely if you can just write this down somewhere and post it in a common place where your family can see it. Maybe it's on the fridge, maybe on some mood board if you have in the house, maybe some kind of a pin-up board where you share something good. So how about learning something like this? How about learning to love ourselves? Mirror work is there for that. How about relationships? So magic book is there for somebody's voice is on. So please mute yourself. Somebody's on. And if we can tell ourselves that how can we be wise parents? So we have the 7 spiritual laws of parenting. So people who are interested, please buy this book by Deepa Chopra. It's very beautiful. I know it's very tough to give you an hour and every evening after evening, an hour and a half in the morning. Read that book. How to handle money is so, so, so simple. You can just read it and attract your enhancing belief. When we learn these beautiful things in our life will become so magical. And that's our take back that life is truly something that we are blessed with. So thank you, each one of you, for coming in this morning. Let's move on to meditation. And after that, let's have a meditation first, and then we shall have sharing. Because if people want to log off, they can log off. Let's get comfortable, a bit more comfortable than we were before. Our back straight, our feet firmly placed on the ground or cross-legged. I would request you not to lie down if you're not well. Because when you're seated, your chakras are in alignment. You're flowing from the top to the bottom. Close your eyes and let's inhale deep. 3 deep breaths. Let's inhale. Hold. And exhale. Inhale yet again. Hold. And release. One last time for this morning. Let's inhale. Hold. And exhale. Life is joyful. Life is a lesson. Life is enlightening. The more we plunge in the world of learning, the more stronger we emerge. Better version of ourselves. More grounded, more compassionate, more kinder. Learn this for ourselves. Learn compassion for us. Yes, we are much better with the world around us. But now start respecting and loving ourselves. Because we most ignored. Now we're learning to delve deep in ourselves. However old we are, we're learning to find the purpose of our life. Yes, it may mean changing our profession completely if the current profession is not exciting. If it's mundane, if it's boring, we will now go deeper and dive and understand what is it that makes me joyful? What is it that makes my life purposeful? What is it that the world needs? What is it that they're ready to pay for it? Imagine living a life where my passion becomes my profession. How wonderful. Enjoying our work means giving it the right positivity. No matter how harrowing it may seem, it's all going to flow easily. All we have to do is set our heart in it. Let's understand ourselves a bit more. Every day, let's take some time to reflect in our thoughts. If possible, align 5 minutes of just music time. Nothing, no spoken guided meditation. Just you and your thoughts. What is it that I want? I can ask my subconscious mind because I know my subconscious mind is my higher inner guide, giving me all the answers to perfection. Let's spend some magical moments with ourselves because we are the creators of our life. We are the building blocks of the foundation of our life. We intend, deserve to live the life of our dreams joyfully, easily, organically. We can flow from one to another. We can believe in the law of the universe. And that's how life should be. No stress, no hassle, no complaints, no judgment. Just a world of acceptance. Accepting who we are and knowing there's always scope for growth. Because I learn something every single day. And I am ready to go in this journey of mine deeper and deeper. Remember, the roots are much deeper than what it seems outside. Let's become the people we wish to become. Let's drop the coat of perfection. Nothing is perfect. What we enjoy, what we love to do is absolutely magical, and that's how life should be. Life is magical. And yes, so it is. So it is. So it is. Let's bend down our head towards Mother Earth and thank her for her magnanimity, for being always a giver. Dear Mother Earth, the more gratitude I serve towards you, I give you, express towards you, the more you're deserving. I know I can keep thanking you forever and it'll still not be enough. But that's the pool of love I feel for you. So please accept my gratitude with a lot of humility and love. I'm truly lucky to be living where you live. I'm truly lucky to be grounded in you. I'm truly lucky to be reminded to always be humble and to always be a giver. I'm learning to give. I'm learning to also receive because every day I learn something new and I'm ready for this journey. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Dear life, as I look up to you at my eye level, my eyes are still closed. All I feel is immense gratitude. Thank you for making me a giver. Thank you for teaching me the art of receiving. Thank you for teaching me the art of modesty. I am so thankful that I'm not a braggart, that I don't just go, that I flow with life, with humility, with kindness, with compassion. That I understand people, that I understand myself, and I accept whatever is coming my way very gracefully. Because I know it's all a learning bend. Because I learn something new every day. And thank you for giving me all the experiences you've given me so far. I'm truly blessed with each one of them. And once again, today morning, I wish to thank each experiences, knowing that the future is already golden. and I create my life the way I wish to live, using the power of my subconscious mind. Thank you, dear life. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And let's look up at the universe, hands stretched in abundance. Thank you, universe, for having our backs. Thank you, Cosmos, for this beautiful Leela that you do. Thank you, angels. Thank you, guardians. Thank you, divinity. I truly know I'm a blessed child. I'm your special one, and that's how I really wish to be. Loved, adored, cared for. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Let's come back to a heart level, hands folded. Let's energize our hands. If you feel the energy is flowing from your heart to your hands without any effort, fantastic. Otherwise, energize them by rubbing them. Let's body scan and energize each part of the body very fast. Let's go with the flow. Our head, our face, our neck, our ears, our shoulders, our upper arms, lower arms, hands, wrists, upper back, middle back, lower back, spinal cord, hips, lungs, heart, liver, stomach, gallbladders, kidneys, intestines, your uterus, sexual organs, excretory organs, thighs, upper, lower, knees, calves, front and back, ankles, feet, toe, finger, nails, and come back up. Hands next to your heart, and let's thank the trillions of cells in our body, our muscles, our tissue, our fiber, our skin, our blood circulation system. Are you feeling the energy tingling in your body? If yes, thank the presence of this infinite source of energy. And now the same energy invite love and blessings. May each person's wishes for goodness come true. May they find their higher calling. May they find their life's purpose. May their dreams come to fruition. And so it is. Love, light, and blessings to everyone. Neha, Salish, Rajni, Shraddha, Raviji, Anika, Preeti, Mudita, Neha, Nisha, Pratimaji, Mehak, Payal, Minakshi, Ayushi, Shweta, Archana, Sangeeta, Kiran, Reena, Shalu, Sunita Ji, Richa, Monish, Rupal, Shilpa, Monica, Alifia, Radhika, Rima, Archana, Neelam, Harpreet, Sudha, Sapna, Achal, Kavita, Rima. Bless you, bless you, bless you. May everyone's dreams come true because that's how beautiful life is. We can all find the life's purpose. We can all live our life of our dreams. It's really beautiful. We'll get sidetracked, but we'll come back, we'll bounce back. And may our life become really a life of purpose. Maybe firstly excel in our lives and then reach out to help the others because that's what is the ultimate giver. And now we have a few sharings, I think. Okay. So Radhika shared her hands. There you are, Radhika. I'm unmuting you. And Alifia, you want to share something? Radhiji, you want to share something? Please raise your hands. Yes, Alifia.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Hello. Good morning.
Yes, we can
I
hear
want to
you.
share. I want to share something. We had this switch word session, so I came across this switch word save, and I gave this switch word to my daughter's teacher because her husband used to drink a lot, and yeah, yesterday she told me that her husband is stopped drinking. For the past 1 week, he hasn't touched it. And she
Wow.
said, I have been continuously repeating this word
Wow.
day in, day out. and I was feeling so good that yes, it worked for
Wow.
her, and this is what I
So
wanted.
rituals are
And
magical. They are a shortcut.
and one more thing, uh, I just cleared my wardrobe, just one section, and then we went for shopping for my husband and daughter, and I got more clothes for myself than them. So I
Yes.
was blessed with abundance.
Yeah. So when you unclutter your lives, your heart, your almirahs, your space around you, you're making space for prosperity. So thank you for inviting abundance in your life. Thank you for sharing, and thank you for adding the value to your daughter's teachers, because really you just added the value of switchwords, and that is being a giver. So thank you for being a giver. More power to you, Radhika. Lots of love and blessings. Take care. Thank you for sharing. Wonderful. So let's have Rajni ji. Yes, Rajni ji.
Yeah, good evening, Prachi ji, and good morning.
Good morning.
Sorry, I'm so excited. I'm so excited
Oh,
to
that's
say all
fine.
these things. Yeah, actually, I came very late. The deal has almost finalized, and it all went according to what I thought, what I affirmed, like that only. And today I'm going to sign it. And you won't believe the first day when the thought came in my mind, I just wrote the name of the person and I wrote the amount also, and exactly I opened this for everyone, but that person only came to finalize the deal, and the amount was also near about. And today when I will sign the final deal, then I will disclose each and everything more, but I couldn't stop myself from saying all this thing. I wanted to share it today also, and I am going to share it tomorrow also.
How wonderful. So thank you for inviting the magic in your life, because you are in the moment of receiving. And that's why magic is coming to you so fast.
I came very late last night and I slept at 2. But I was so excited that I just wanted to get up 5 कब 5 o'clock होगा and मैं फटाफट जाके शेयर करूं अपने सब संग मित्र से बोलूं कि ऐसा ऐसा हो रहा है and all that. So I was so excited but I couldn't sleep also. मैंने जल्दी से 5 बजे and मैं log in करूं और फिर उसके बाद में मैं शेयर करूं. And tomorrow also I am going to share, and I'll bring some sweets also for everyone.
Are you wearing Rajiv's t-shirt by any chance? Are you wearing Rajiv's t-shirt?
Yeah, I'm wearing
Yeah,
Rajiv t-shirt. Correct? Oh my God, how did you
that
get it?
I understood it. I wear my brother's t-shirts all the time. So I could see that you're wearing his.
Oh, yeah,
And
I'm
he's
wearing
guiding you
Rajiv
from right
t-shirt.
there. And
Yeah,
that's why life is becoming more magical, because your angel is there guiding you. And
yeah.
husband will always love his daughter or his wife come with me. So
Thank you so much. Thank
thank you. Thank you so much. God bless you. Rajni. God bless you. Thank you so much. How lovely. Great. Alifa, you want to share something, darling? Anything? Okay, great. So this is what happens in life when we're ready for our magics, when we're ready for us to go through we changes, and we're inviting our subconscious mind. And like right now, how Radhini ji said that she's written down the amount of the check and the person's name. And that's creative visualization to the next level. She knows what she wants, and that's what she's attracting in her life. So more power to each one of us as we stumble upon these building blocks and as we create our life the way we want to. So yes, new beginnings are happening for Rajni ji, and new beginnings are going to happen for a lot of us. Radhika has invited a new beginning in her, her so-called friend's life as well. So yes, let's become the givers, and let's remember that life is all. And one more thing, I always say this, but I'm just going to say again: the more you give, the more you get. So start becoming giver. You have learned so much in life. With these, some of you have been with me since October. Some of you have joined later in these morning sessions. You have already become givers, whether you're realizing or not. Start sharing the power that each one of you holds, because that's very, very something is wrong. Yes, we have Ayushi. Let's have her share. Okay, Pratima has hand is raised. Pratima, do you want to say something? Ritesh, sir, I think it's not working for my end. Maybe you can just. Prachi, one of my 3 magnificent outcomes came true. I really pray, thanked for the magnificent outcome beforehand came true. Yes, they come true, and thank you for sharing. The more you share, the more you're increasing your magics in your life. So that's how wonderful it is. Ritesh, sir, I think Ayushi want to share something, and Pratima ji also. So yes, Pratima ji, please say.
Yeah, I had a little fungal infection on my hands. And I realized it this day before that while meditating, I looked at my fingers and somehow they have come down to 80%. I mean,
Wow.
it was just beyond my, because it's been there for a long. I've tried a lot, but your words were magical, I think. It worked wonders. So I'm so grateful to you, Prachi. Wonderful it was.
Thank you.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you so much.
Wonderful.
Thank you for inviting this magic.
Yeah.
And thank you for always being a giver. You always compliment all of us so beautifully, and it just feels nice, the glow. Thank you so much.
It's my pleasure always. It comes from the heart.
Thank you so much. So, is Ayushi here with us? Or has she logged off? Nisha ji, you want to share something? Okay, I've unmuted you. Please share. Yes, please.
Thank you so much, Prachi ma'am, for guiding us to be a giver. I just share one of my friend is going through a financial crisis, and I have just give her some guidance about how through gratitude and going into positive zone you can find the way to come out of this your crisis. And she did it, and she come out of the situation, and she's so happy, and I'm so much thankful to you for giving us the guidance. Thank you so much.
Thank you for being a giver, Nisha, and thank you for inviting magic in her life. Simple stuff, gratitude writing is something that will change for everyone. So thank you for that. God bless you. Thank you. All right. And this happy note with such beautiful reflections, and let's see each tomorrow's time same. Blessed day and totally magical. I missed Ayushi sharing. Tomorrow we shall do that. And maybe Rajni says she'll see tomorrow. So lots of love, light, and abundance. Take care. See you tomorrow. Thank you, Ritesh sir. Thank you so much.